Why don't you just, like, completely do the theme tune beatboxed in that style?
That would be really cool.
Fighting death and human horse, Thorson tried to kill them all. They escaped the vile moor. Now PolyArmoury store. PolyArmoury.
That's fucking amazing.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to Stone Monkey Radio's roleplay series, PolyArmoury. I'm Jane Eris Magnet, and I am the mistress of this dungeon. Joining me to be spanked until they scream the safe word, which today is fondant, are editor of Let's Play Video Games and co-host of the Podquisition, Laura Kate Dale.
I'm suddenly wondering what I got myself in for.
And editor-in-chief of Indie Haven and Jaffameister, George Johnson.
Hello, I am happy about what I've got myself in for.
I'm glad. So, we'll start with you, Laura. Tell us a bit about yourself and your character.
I'm Laura. I do a bunch of writing about video games on the internet, and I will be playing Brilmara Iron Thor, who is a dark dwarf or a Duragar, depending on whichever way you want to refer to them. I am playing a warlock with a criminal background and a chaotic evil alignment, although I'm not a big fan of alignments, and I think that they're a guiding point that should probably be ignored as characters develop. So a little bit of background descriptive stuff. Brilmara is a short, female grey dwarf tattooed head to toe in eldritch markings, denoting her exile for interacting with the eldritch arts, which is always a fun background to give a character. Bright red hair, slightly frail by dwarven standards, dark black eyes. Should I be saying more than this, or I don't know how much you want me to say at this stage?
I think that'll probably do enough. There is one particular aspect that you haven't mentioned yet. Quite an important aspect.
She has autism, and we're going to be running a homebrew autism rule set for D&D 5th edition from Sleepy Spoonie on Tumblr.
Excellent, and I'm looking forward to trying a slightly different mechanic. So, George, tell us about who you are and what you do.
I am a video games journalist and political commissar who violently mashes communism into video games and talks about how it makes sense on YouTube and on my personal website. I'm going to be playing Madame Valarie, who's a half-orc. She was found on the steps of an orphanage with the tag that simply read Valarie, which is how she got her first name. Her only name, in fact. She doesn't have a family name. And she had a bit of a tough time in that orphanage because she was green and had tusks and other people didn't have those bits. So when she grew up, she decided that the Underdark would be a perfect place for her to live because everyone there was a bit different, and she made her way there.
Excellent. So, if anyone would like to tweet at us, we can be found at PolyArmoury SMR, or use the hashtag PolySMR. And without further ado, I will whisk you away to Maudtown in the Underdark. You arrive tired, hungry, and short on equipment. They're just the two of you and your partner, your lover, your tiny cobbled friend, Thrall. You've been directed to the local employment bureau where you now stand, and behind the desk sits a young half-orc who appears to be staring at something in her hand and smiling. She does not appear to notice you.
Hello.
Oh, hello. Can I help?
Well, I would think so. We're probably not here unless there's something you can do to help. We're looking for jobs. Probably shouldn't have to explain that to you, I wouldn't think.
Oh, you want a job? We've not got a lot going at the moment.
We're pretty desperate.
Oh, pretty desperate. Do you, have any problem with...
Shh, you're not meant to tell them we're pretty desperate. That puts us in a
Honesty is
very
the best
bad
policy.
It puts us in a very bad position for getting good jobs.
I've been out of the job hunting circuit for a while. Sorry, a little bit rusty.
I suppose I'll get the forms. She pulls out some forms, a quill and ink. So, how did you get here then?
Well, when Valarie went into the Underdark, she needed to find somewhere to work. And the easiest place to get a job was at the Eager Wench's brothel. and while she was working there, she made friends with all of the other girls. But she and everyone else working there lived under a sort of tyrannic rule of the owner named Scrum, who exploited the girls, didn't give them enough pay, and the patrons were free to do as they pleased without consequence, which was obviously quite awful. It reached a point where she had enough, and over a period of a few years she gained the trust of the brothel owner, had a small sum of wealth accumulated through putting aside some wages and stealing from the other patrons, and she used her little spoken powers to charm Scrum into signing a contract turning the rights of the brothel over to her. And after claiming ownership of the brothel and using the comfortable sum of wealth that she'd obtained, she very much changed up how the business worked. She gave the girls equal pay and part ownership of the brothel. She let them just switch to dancing if they wanted to, if they weren't comfortable with anything else. Gave them all very comfortable living quarters. Priority safety over the enjoyment of the patrons. They were no longer under this wretched iron grip of this nasty bastard Scrum, and they were all a lot happier for it. And she also renamed the brothel. No longer was it the Eager Wench's brothel; it turned into Madame Valerie's Working Girls Cooperative. And she ran that business very successfully for about 5 years. A lot of experience and success met her and who she considered now her family, all of the working girls there. One evening, she was strolling back from visiting a home client and found a weak little kobold on the street who was all beaten up. So she took the little kobold back to the cooperative, nursed them back to health, and he was given work as a waiter and as Valerie's personal consensual slave. To which he found a lot of enjoyment and appreciation and was named Thrall.
Oh.
Another 3 years passed, and on a particularly busy day at the cooperative, Thrall brought Valerie's attention to a dwarf, making their way around the club and pickpocketing patrons. She reminded her of her old days thieving on the streets, and then again under Scum's exploitation. And Valarie decided to take pity on her and taught her ways to improve her, quite frankly, sloppy sleight of hand.
Hey, I wasn't that bad.
You were quite bad. That was Brilmara, and Valarie and Thrall and Brilmara grew romantically attached, and the relationship grew into a trio. Everything was perfect.
Dum dum dum.
Yeah.
You make that dun 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 sound as if something's going to go wrong for this perfect setup, that nothing is wrong.
But then everything changed.
Oh, I knew there was a turn coming.
There is. On the 10th anniversary of the co-option of the brothel, Scrum, still with a grudge, and with the backing of those less progressively minded in the city council, issued a cease and desist. And so, for the past 3 days, there has been a siege going on at Madame Valerie's Working Girls Club Cooperative. You have all been boarding yourselves in to stop from being torn from your home, many of you to be sold back into slavery if Scrum has his way. And so it is that you've all gone to bed as normal. You're fairly certain that they just can't be bothered at night. Everything will be safe and sound. And so there you sleep, safe, tucked up in your beds, just prepared for another day tomorrow of sitting behind the barriers, basically just drinking yourself stupid. So, how do you sleep, the three of you?
In a really big bed.
In a really big bed.
Really big bed.
I'm imagining not in your armour.
I was a little unsure of the question at first. I was like, are you just looking for, like, we sleep well? Sleep was good. It's like, no. We take all our clothes off and get into a bed. That's
Excellent.
generally
okay,
what
so
people
you take
do in
all
these
of your clothes
situations.
off and get into bed. And so it is, in the dead of night, in the distance,
Oh, God.
you hear
I've
the
just
sounds.
Sorry, I've just realised you we're gonna have to fight something naked or something, aren't we? Oh no! I was like, it's like that's a really weird question to ask if we take our armour off before getting into bed. Of course we do. Oh shit, that's a DM question.
Thank you.
Can I change my answer? I
No.
sleep fully armoured.
No metagaming this, sorry. And so, in the middle of the night, you're woken by a furiously panicking Thrall. Now, Thrall, for the listeners, is non-verbal. So we three between us will be co-playing this character. I will have final say on whether or not he can do a thing, but largely he is quite nervous and non-verbal. So you awake, he is violently shaking you. You are all naked in bed, and I present you with a choice. You may gather up all of your things, collect yourselves in a timely fashion, and depart through the window. Or you can wake the girls, and you can grab one item each.
Oh no.
Oh yes,
Oh,
they're your girls, they're your family.
I'm going to wake the girls. Obviously, they are my family. I want to warn them that something is coming.
Okay.
I will go with you, but I'm not gonna lie. If I was sleeping alone, my instinct would have been just jump out the window naked. Just off I go, weapon
That's
in
fine.
hand, off I sprint. But fine, I'm coming with you.
So as part of your autistic panicking, you are in a critical stress situation, Laura, so I think you have to give us a wisdom saving throw for that.
Yep, wisdom saving throw. Right, where is my wisdom? What am I trying to beat? Because the DC
you are trying to beat.
increases-
We'll make this a nice easy one. 10.
Okay.
Excellent. So
6.
all good. Oh no, that's not terribly good. So you take a stress point.
I have 1 stress point.
Okay.
I mean, it's quite understandable given the situation.
Yeah. Should I give a brief overview of like how this
Yes, please
homebrew
do.
system works? So the short version is I have to make a wisdom saving throw anytime that I encounter an exceptionally stressful situation as deemed by the DM. Each time until I've had a long rest, the DC that I have to beat will increase, which makes it harder to not get that stress point. If I get 3 points of stress, I get disadvantage on skill checks relating to my highest ability score. And if I get 5, I go into meltdown, and there are things we do about that. But basically, high stress situations are a thing that Brilmara's not great with.
And it makes sense that right now this is quite a high stress situation.
This is a high stress situation, I will give you that.
So, would you like to grab your weapons, a bag, some food, your armour? What'll it be?
If we don't pick the armor as our one thing, are we going naked?
No, I will assume that you have some basic body coverings.
Okay, I take my weapon.
Okay.
I'm going to take my whip.
Okay, weapons all round. And what would you like the boy to take?
I'd like the boy to take, like, spare pants, just in case.
Right, that sounds like something the boy would do. Okay, so you wake the girls. You manage to make your way out quite safely. As you make it onto the streets, in the the fairly near distance actually, there are sounds of explosions and battle, and you can see people throwing spells left and right. Everybody decides the best thing to do is to escape to the nearest surface gate and make their way to Groibon, which is across the plains and a place of safety. It's a big town in the Underdark that everyone knows will be safe. So, you make your way up to the gate, up to the overworld. Once you are out into the world, the girls decide it would be safest for you, rather than travelling as one large group, that they will go as one party and you will go as a separate party. They indeed may split up into separate parties themselves, because travelling as a large group of Underdark dwellers as you are would not be very safe. And so, on the second day, you come across a caravan, and it appears that there are just 2 actors. They have a certain actory vibe about them. They're just sitting there around their campfire, cooking some sort of meat by the smell of it, and you're desperately hungry since none of you packed any food.
Shit.
So, my dark dwellers, what are you going to do?
Watch and learn. I walk over to the 2 actors, and the nearest one to me, I cast charm person.
Give us a brief explanation for the listeners at home, please.
Charm person is an enchantment spell that allows me to attempt to charm a humanoid I can see within range. That humanoid has to make a wisdom saving throw. If it fails, it's charmed by me until an hour duration, or if I do something to harm the person, and they will regard me as a friendly acquaintance.
That's jolly nice of them.
Isn't it just?
Well then, I believe you have to make that roll.
I will. I'm crossing my fingers.
What did we get? Oh
no.
Oh, bless.
Oh no.
So, he's not charmed, and he knows that you attempted to charm him. And he's are you both visible, or was it just you that stepped out of the...
Oh, I stayed hidden. This was not my thing to deal with.
Shit.
Valarie the Half-orc. You are presented with suddenly two panicking actors who take up the nearest stones to them and start throwing them at you. Let's have a dexterity saving throw of your own.
Oh, bugger. It's times like these I wish I could blow on virtual dice. Dexterity saving throw.
Ooh, 10. Okay, that's not brilliant.
It's
So
not,
take
I'm
one
not having a
take
good
1d4
time
damage, please.
right now. 1d, sorry?
1d4 damage.
Oh, okay.
You're being stoned to death.
Oh, no. Okay.
I'll give you advantage on that.
I appreciate this.
Excellent. So you can take a single damage. Well done.
Ow!
Yeah, it's just take the one. I think the crit success there was that. So I'm putting you on 6. So are the other two going to help at all?
I reckon you've got this.
We're supposed to be romantically attached!
Would Thrall help? Would you like some help from Thrall?
Oi! Sick!
I'm mildly stressed. I'm gonna leave you to this one.
Okay, and with the command boy sick, he charges towards them, runs around and up the back of the first actor that cast a stone that hit you, bites into their neck, and produces just an absolute geyser of blood. The other person, looking at him, starts screaming and desperately trying to run away, getting away, falling on his way and smashing his face on a rock on the path. He gets up, bloody-nosed, and runs as far as he can. The boy, meanwhile, is still chomping away at the other person's neck. Blood is arcing out and splashing over everything. Let's have another stress roll for you, Laura.
How far away is the other person?
The other person is legging it as fast as they can. Their speed is 25.
Yeah, this whole, me staying out the way to avoid a high-stress situation thing didn't really pan out for me, did it?
Didn't really work, no.
14.
Excellent, you did very well there.
Hooray!
I'm going to attempt to grapple the person running away with my whip.
Let's see your whip strike then. Okay, yeah, so that will be hit points. Very little. Yes, okay, you've whipped somebody to death. I
meant to grapple them.
Nope. That's slashing damage. That whip's pretty powerful.
I can grapple with my whip, can't I? I thought I could do that.
Everybody's dead, George.
No.
This is why be very careful about explaining your intentions to the DM.
I said grapple. I said grapple. Well,
and now
shit.
Everybody's dead. So, there is blood on the road, which is somewhat scaring the horse that is attached to the caravan.
Oh no.
You have yourself a small campfire and some possibly
someone.
roasting meat, yes. It didn't take long, did it?
No! Oh god!
There's no changing what we've done now. Get in the caravan and let's go.
Are you going to have some roasted meat? Are you going to look through the caravan, perhaps?
We'll take the roasted meat, we'll put it in the back of the caravan, we'll take the caravan, and off we go.
Okay, so you trot off in the caravan, and over the next couple of days. Now, I believe some of you have particular sight issues with being in the overworld during the daytime. Sunlight sensitivity, yes it is.
Oh, me?
You.
I had no idea I had sunlight sensitivity off the top of my head for visibility.
Disadvantage on attack rolls and wisdom perception checks that rely on sight. It's okay. I think you're doing okay. Suffice to say, you're a bit squinty out here during the daytime.
I'm just sort of having to just squeeze my eyes a bit and be like, I think I can see what's going on.
Yeah. we'll allow that. So do you want to have a look through the caravan at all?
Yep, let's have a look through the back of the caravan.
Let's have a gander.
Okay, let's have some perception.
Perception.
Hey, there we go.
Okay.
18.
15 because you have disadvantage during the day.
Oh, yes. Okay, 15.
Okay, so okay, yep. So for 16 and 15, I will let you, if you would like, to pick out something interesting from the back of here. If you find a nice costume or a particular item that you would like.
What kind of things are there that we found? Describe
They're-
some of them.
They're actors, so they would have sort of costumes for things. There might be some set weaponry. Almost certainly all sort of suitable for a con, but probably not for actual fighting. I was rather hoping you wouldn't take your weapons and we're going to end up with the con-safe weapons from the back of the caravan. But such is life. I have to
I'm
let you have your real
sorry.
weapons. See, no one would have died, but you picked your weapons.
I'm sorry. Look, we make mistakes. We all make mistakes, okay? I'm sorry.
Okay. By the way, you may each have had a long rest,
Hey,
since it is now several days later.
excellent.
Hooray!
Does that mean I recover my hit points?
You can recover your hit points.
Excellent.
At some point, you have all fallen asleep at the reins.
Oh, as a point, by taking a long rest, my stress reduces by 1.
Indeed.
Hooray!
Yay! So everyone's basically back to where they started. But
Yeah.
tired and hungry for the fact that you've been on the road for 6 days, and there has been no food, somewhat exhausted, and at some point the horse just grinds to a halt, stops, you are all asleep, and somebody has stolen your horse.
Oh no.
You are, however, on the far side of the plains from where you started, and you see, very near you, by lucky happenstance, a gate down to the underworld, which you, as underworld dwellers, would very readily recognise.
Well, shit.
And so you head down into the Underdark, and you find yourself in Mordtown. It is a bit Mos Eisley, to be honest.
Oh, nice.
It's unpleasant. It's a bit grotty. There's quite a lot of litter on the streets. You are walking through this strange town when you hear a sort of low-level screech from a side alley.
Oh, I'm going to investigate.
Going to investigate that. So, as you get closer, you see a strange white-blue light from just around the corner.
Oh.
And as you get closer still, you see a kobold standing up from the floor and sort of straighten themselves off and pick up a small black shiny object, place it into their pocket, and walk off towards your end of the alleyway.
Oh.
And they give you a sort of, what are you looking at? Are you gonna let that pass?
What are you looking at? Can I make an intimidation check?
Oh, please do.
Ooh.
Okay, 14 for intimidation. Yep, it's like, yeah, alright, whatever, mate. And attempts to kiss his teeth really badly, because it's just how he rolls.
Wow.
And he shoves you, but sort of only a little bit. Clearly he's still quite up himself, but and perhaps a little intimidated, but not past his own natural levels of bravado. And he scurries off down the street. And Thrall glares at him ever so slightly.
Oh.
See on the floor a small purse. Interested?
I'm going to take a look at the purse.
Okay, you open the purse and you find 2 gold and 2 silver.
Oh, nice. Well, that's some currency.
So, what would be your next priority?
Well,
Bear in mind you haven't eaten in a day or so. You're quite tired.
we have money now. I've noticed this. Which means we can probably use that money to buy food, would be my logical step. So, I'd say,
You'd like something to eat?
yes, I'd say we should definitely, Brilmara, Thrall and I, head out of this alleyway and try and find somewhere that will sell us food for relatively cheap. And when I say relatively cheap, I mean any form of sustenance.
Very well. Laura, are you up for some food?
Food sounds like a fantastic idea. I think that this is definitely a priority.
Excellent. So you make your way back out onto the main street. You're walking along past the gate. You see a closed-up shop marked with 2 crossed axes and a pie symbol. And it has 3 stripes across the back of that. One in blue, one in red, and one in black. And it is labelled as the PolyArmoury.
Ooh.
But it's all shut.
It looks like quite a fancy establishment, though.
Well, it looks like possibly a pawn shop. It's a bit difficult to tell. But as I say, it's all shut up at the moment.
Okay.
And across from this, not far down the street, you see a swinging red sign that advertises Daru's Fried Rat.
Daru's Fried Rat.
Daru's Fried Rat is just down the road, and outside you see maybe 5 or 6 small kobolds wearing hooded robes that only come down to about their waists, and they're sort of just chatting and having a bit of banter between each other, shoving each other about. A couple of them are just snogging in a corner. Do you fancy a bit of rat?
Well, see, I'm up for a bit of rat, because I was suggesting we go and hunt some vermin anyway, so if we can have some that's nicely fried and we don't have to hunt down, that works fine by me.
If it's suitably fried, then I'm going to eat it.
Very well. You head to Daru's Fried Rat, shove your way past the small, annoying, cobbled children.
The rambunctious youths.
Rambunctious youths indeed. They all seem to be staring, or most of them, apart from the 2 that are snogging, staring at small glowing things in their hands, and sort of they vaguely jostle you as you walk in. You make your way inside and are just hit full in the face by the smell of seasoning and spices and grease. So much grease. Oh. And standing behind the counter, you see a high elf named Chris, according to his name badge. And his name badge also declares him a level 1 lobby ranger. He appears to be wearing one of those, like the cosplay t-shirts. It has a design on it that makes it look like he's wearing armour, but it is simply a cotton shirt that he's wearing.
Okay.
Also standing just near the door is a large security golem, who doesn't appear to pay you any particular mind. It's just there to keep an eye, I think, possibly on the children outside.
That's all right then. I very confidently and very hastily walk up to the counter. I lean with one elbow on the counter, my legs sort of crossed, towards Chris, and I say, "Hello, Chris, hi Chris. I would like to buy some fried rats. What can you do for me?"
Hello, welcome to Daru's Fried Rat. How can I help you today? Please have a look at the menu.
Okay, yeah, I'll just have a look at the. Oh, I like how it popped up on Roll20. Oh, that's nice. Okay, let's have a look. Let's have a look at the menu.
Is it bad that I wanted to just from the background just shout like, "We're buying it with definitely not stolen money"?
No, shut up. Right.
I don't think I'm allowed to care about things like that. I just have to take money and put it in the till and not touch it myself.
Okay.
How much money do we have?
You have 2 gold and 2 silver.
Right. Oh, okay. A lot of this is very affordable with our budget, which is nice. Brilmara, hun, come here, look at the menu.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking.
Does anything take your fancy?
I don't know. I'm still looking. There's a lot of very nice looking food.
Yeah. I'm
looking at the gluttony meal, but
I am as well.
Can we afford gluttony meals?
Well, we have gold. That will cover the 2 lots of 5 silver.
I'm really bad with the economy. I don't know how many silver a gold is worth, etc.
Okay, so the economy is 1 copper is 10 silver. 10 copper is 1 silver.
Yeah.
10 silver is 1 gold.
Okay, so we have 2 gold and 2 silver.
Yes.
And you could get gluttony meals with dessert for a mere 18 silver, which will leave you
Ooh.
with 4 silver.
Okay, I think we get gluttony meals and dessert.
I mean, right now that's immensely tempting.
This sounds very tempting. This might help a certain someone get over the fact that they recently murdered someone. Having a good meal might
Yeah.
help.
Chris, can I call you Chris?
Please do, that is my name.
I'll call you Chris.
Ever since I was first abducted and brought to this horrible place.
I beg your pardon?
We're all literal slaves. And elven resources just take us when we're children and tie us up here, and we're just left here forever. They always go for elves because we live longer.
We didn't ask for your life story. We asked for
Sorry.
gluttony meals.
What would you like with your gluttony meal? War chief burger, 3 pieces of original recipe rat, or 6 frisky strips?
Can I get the 6 frisky strips?
And what would you like, madam?
Out of character. I think I need to take like a willpower check or something.
A willpower check.
To not immediately free the slaves. Remember, she did start a workers' cooperative.
Yeah.
I had a feeling that this might happen.
Oh no. I just want my mystery gift.
Well, I've not reacted yet. We're waiting to see if I can't not.
There's a security golem standing behind you that might have a thing to say if you start trying to free the staff.
That's like sweet fuck.
Can you start by having a workers' cooperative of stomachs where you free the stomachs from tyranny by getting them gluttony meals, please?
Well, I feel like I definitely need to take some kind of willpower check to like, because this is going to be hard. It's going to be hard not to free these slaves.
What kind of check would that be? Is there a does 5th edition have a willpower check?
I think I'll give you a wisdom check because you're trying to work out how dumb this idea is.
I don't want...
I'll let you have that one.
Okay.
I'll let you stay safe because I'd really not like to start this series with a total party vibe. Young Durigan, you're having the frisky strips, and for you, madam.
Can I have 2 gluttony meals, please?
What would you like with your gluttony meal, madam?
I would like 3 pieces of original recipe rat.
And for the kobold?
The kobold will have...
This shouldn't be this difficult of a choice.
I care about my little thrall.
Oh, is this the most we've laboured over a choice so far? What do we
no,
feed the
let's give
thrall?
him a-
What do you want for
Give
dinner?
him a double rat fillet burger.
Typical Poly family. Where should we go for dinner? Well, now we're fucked forever. So,
A double
is
fillet
that one
rat
of each?
burger for Thrall.
That doesn't come in the gluttony meal, I'm afraid, madam.
What? Oh, yes, of course, sorry.
I'm afraid that doesn't come. You can have a war chief burger, 3 pieces of original recipe rat, or 6 frisky strips.
Okay, 1 gluttony meal with 3 original recipe rat, and 1 gluttony meal with a war chief burger.
Would you like dessert with that for an extra 9 copper?
I think I'll pass for now, actually, thanks.
I'm having dessert.
You can have dessert.
Thank you.
Oh, you're gonna make me count things.
Yeah, I'm gonna make you do maths, DM.
I was trying to keep
Get
track of
used to
everything,
it.
but it got really
It's the
hectic.
game
and
of maths.
I'd calculated for if everyone had dessert or if everyone did not have dessert. But we've decided that some of us will have to. Is Thrall having dessert? Okay, so one without. Laura, will the boy be having dessert?
I think the thrall should have dessert.
Thrall should have dessert. That's not
Okay.
6. 17 silver and 1 copper, please.
Yeah, I'll give you the 2 gold.
And Chris hands you 2 silver and 9 copper in change.
Okay, so we now have 4 silver and 9 copper.
So for your free mystery gifts, would you like a red, a yellow, or a green?
It's like the ending of Mass Effect.
Except these choices matter.
Oh,
Let's go green. Green.
Green, okay, 1 green.
I'm gonna have a red.
Please don't open the red ones in the shop.
Okay.
Please just wait until you get outside.
Okay.
Thank you.
Don't mention it.
So 1 green, 1 red, and shall we have a yellow for the boy?
Yeah, let's get one of each. That'd be nice.
We'll do green first. Laura, if you could roll me a d12.
10.
Okay, for number 10, you get a small resin figure, quite badly painted. It looks vaguely heroic, but also it is a sneering orc with its arms crossed, and on its back is slung a battle axe, and its feet are maybe gold rings. It's not very well made.
That is adorable.
I will pop that in your character sheet. George, if you could roll 20, please.
Oh, but see, I'm not opening mine yet because we're not outside the shop, so I don't know what's in there yet. It's going to
Very
be an
well.
exciting surprise.
If you can add a red capsule to your treasures, then please. And the boy, who would like to roll 20 for the boy?
I will.
Right, number 6. Okay. Inside the boy's capsule is a small pendant that looks a bit like a coiled poop.
Oh!
On a small flimsy leather thong, very, very, very thin leather.
Wow.
Also, Laura, the boy seems very curious about that small resin figure that you have.
Do you want to have the resin figure?
He offers you his poop necklace.
Oh.
Okay, fine. I'll
in exchange.
I was going to let you just have it, but okay, we'll trade for the poop necklace. There you go.
That's fair. Right. Okay. So do you want to add the poop necklace to your collection?
Yes, please.
Yes, of course. As one other thing I forgot to mention, the boy already has a necklace on of his own. Valarie, you will have noticed this because you read orc.
Oh.
It is the orc symbol for home.
Oh. I don't know how I've not noticed this before.
You've probably noticed before.
It's almost like the DM only just highlighted its existence to
Never
you.
really thought about it, though.
Well, make of that what you will. I will let you do some homework between episodes.
Okay.
So, you gonna eat in?
Yes.
There is a nice-ish lobby.
Okay.
With a little bit of barbecue sauce on the walls, but for the most part, it's clean in there. You can eat your meals, enjoy yourselves. So this will count as a long rest, had you not already had one long rest or got in any of the other many and various fights that I was going to throw at you. I think you've done okay.
That's all right then.
So, this would have counted as a rest I would have allowed you to have. Although, let's have nice constitution saving throws to see if you can keep it all down. It's not good quality food. No, it's okay. It was a 5 pass rate.
Oh,
I'll
good.
let you have that one.
Do you say Constitution?
Constitution, please.
19!
Hey,
Look at you!
polish that off like a boss.
It's
And
Eating that
fabulously
fried rat like a
delectable.
fucking champion.
you burp richly.
Swallow it down, bones and
Nice.
all.
And the boy keeps it down just fine as well. There we go. Excellent. And so you enjoy your meals. Now you are in a strange town. Homeless. Somebody's stolen your horse. You might want to look for some employment, I suppose. Some way of earning more money than what you find on the floors in alleyways.
Considering the name of this campaign, it might be worth us, inquiring about a certain building we may have passed earlier that was highlighted to our attention.
Or you might want to go back to the beginning of the flashback.
Oh, where we go to the job place that'll hopefully
Yeah,
send
what
us
are
there.
you talking about, Brilmara? What's a campaign?
Let's go.
What is campaign?
Let's go find out if there's a job centre in the town.
I walk up to the counter again of the
Hello.
rat place. Hi, Chris.
Did you change your mind about the dessert?
No, we didn't. No, we were all right with it. I just
Okay.
wanted to ask you, is there somewhere in this town that we can find employment?
Oh, there's the Employment Bureau just at the far end of town.
Oh, lovely. Thank you very
It's
much.
the very large building.
Splendid. Thank you. Thank you very much. Have a lovely day.
Have a nice day. Thank you for visiting Darius. Please come again.
Bye. Blows a kiss.
Bye.
Mwah. Fucks off.
Oh, somebody likes me for the first time in my life.
Oh no! Oh no!
I made that much sadder than I intended.
Oh.
Oops. I hope somebody's keeping track of the money, by the way.
I'm assuming
Oh,
George
yeah, I'm
is on
keeping
top
track
of
of the
it because
money,
you
yeah.
you
Okay,
paid for
good,
stuff.
good,
I'm
good.
letting you keep on top of that.
Okay, George is in charge of your money worries. That's fine. Okay. The camera zooms in onto your faces and pans back out, and there you are standing in the Employment Bureau. And the young lady says, that was an incredibly long story. So, yeah, there is one job going. You don't have a problem with half-ogres at all, do you?
Not that I know of.
Well, there is one job going. It's, considered, well, some people don't like her because she's a bit different. But there's a job going over at the PolyArmoury. If you want to head over there opening tomorrow, I'm sure they'll sort you out.
Thank you very much.
Good luck with the Half-Ogre. And so you bumble around on the edge of town until the next morning.
Oh, but is there a pub?
Oh, you want to go to the pub?
I really need a drink.
Okay. You really need a drink with your remaining 4 copper.
A really cheap drink, but I could use one.
Let me even work out if I think you could afford.
Can you drink?
Okay, yeah.
You might be able to afford, like, the runoff from, like, you know, when you pour a pint and some of it spills over into, like, the
That
little
is
tray
good
under where
enough
you
for
pour the
me.
pint. Maybe you can just drink the runoff in that little tray.
I'll just drink out of the tap, Shreg.
So you head 2 doors down, where you passed a quiet-looking tavern. It's the middle of the night at this stage. Luckily, Daru's is 24 hours.
Oh, good.
And apparently so is the job centre. You head into the bar, which is labelled by the swinging sign with the mug of beer on the sign as Ganley's.
Gamley's.
Ganley's is darkly lit. It's a proper pub. There's a vague sense of smell of smoke in the air. There's the smell of slightly off ale where it's sort of dried on the floor. There's a few questionable stains that suggest that perhaps there's been a few bar brawls in here, and blood of various species has at some point stained the wood. A little bit of sawdust on the floor, because that's how they keep it clean. And leaning disinterestedly on the end of the bar is a tidy-looking orc who appears to be just randomly cleaning a glass for no good reason.
I'm getting the strangest sense of nostalgia for my early life. I wander up to the counter. I sit down on the bar stool. I go, "Good evening.
Hello there. I'm Ganley. What can I get you?"
Can I get a sensible quantity of the cheapest drink that you have on offer, please?
I mean, there's water.
That's alcoholic as well.
Right. Okay. And he sort of goes off to one of the larger barrels. It's clearly made in a very large batch. It's the cheap and cheerful stuff. It is the underworld equivalent of Stella, I think.
Nice.
And he pulls you a mug of this, and not a very large mug, and pops it on the bar in front of you. What are the other 2 of you doing, by the way?
I'm just sitting with Thrall over by the window, and we're just having a bit of a cuddle while Valarie gets on with what she's doing. It's like we don't. This is probably going to be a bit of a thing because we don't really have money, and Valarie wants to get drunk. So I'm going to leave Valarie to it, and I'll sit here with the Thrall.
Those 2 with you?
Yeah, they're with me.
They drinking?
No, just me.
Not sure if you understand quite what kind of an establishment this is.
Okay. How much was it for this?
That'll be 3 silver.
Okay. Can the other 2 get water?
I suppose, but don't hang out in here all night.
I'm not going to hang out in here, alright, don't worry.
And he gets a couple of very, very rough-looking mugs. This is clearly not his best silverware, so to speak, and he sort of clumsily thuds 2 tepid cups of water down with something floating in them. He might have just got these out of the washing up bowl, and he doesn't look terribly happy.
Okay.
There you go, your waters.
Thank you. Valarie just goes at this pint of shit ale.
You might want to pay me for that first, friendo.
I push 3 silver over the counter.
It's been a pleasure. And he swipes the silver off and puts it in a small drawer behind the bar.
Okay. Yeah, but yeah, Valarie just like goes at this mug of ale, like until there's nothing left, pops the mug back down on the counter, and just starts crying a bit. Like, it's been a really, really difficult few days, and she's only really had the time to like stop for a moment and let it all sink in.
You know, I don't usually do the whole therapist thing until you've bought at least a couple of drinks.
I'm not looking for that. I just need it. I'm sorry. Thank you.
You bringing trouble here, friendo? You looking pretty rough around the edges?
I don't think I'm bringing trouble here. Not here anyway. It's a long story.
I got time for long stories.
Okay. I basically give him a summary of what our adventure has been like so far.
So you're telling me something just blew up your whole town? Just came and destroyed everything?
Pretty much.
Did you get a look at what it was?
We didn't have the time.
Some kind of magic thing, though. A lot of spells going on.
Maybe.
Sounds pretty nasty. Anyone else get out with you?
The girls from the co-op managed to get out, but we've not seen them since.
It's good you saved your people. Family's important, even if it's not blood.
Yeah.
He sort of vaguely considers you. Slaps another a drink on the bar. There you go. That one's on the house.
Thank you.
For the story.
Thank you very much. Valarie definitely nurses this one a bit more, but not too much because she feels like she needs to get out of the bartender's hair a bit, just like give him a peaceful night.
So, you're going to gather together at all? Or well, that's
I take this one. I take this one over to the table where Thrall where Thrall and Brilmara are sat.
You feeling any better for a drink?
A bit. How are you both doing?
Oh, we're all right. Thrall's just happily sat here playing with those figures from the rat shack.
That's good.
Yeah, it's. I'm all right. It's been a long day, and I could do with heading to bed, but I'm all right.
We should probably find somewhere comfortable and dry to sleep.
Where do you think you might find that?
Well, I guess here is an option, but I, admittedly very stupidly, but Valarie was in a bit of a state. Spent 3 of our 4 silver on alcohol, so.
Yeah, you did. So we don't have the horse anymore, but we could, I guess, still sleep in the back of the what's it?
That would
Caravan?
Back of the caravan, yeah.
Yeah.
We can sleep in the back of the caravan.
Okay, so you're going to head back up?
Yeah, let's go sleep in the back of the
just for
caravan.
a moment.
Okay, tired and exhausted, and in one case a little bit wobbly and strangely aggy. I think it's something to do with that very, very cheap beer you drank. I hope you're respectful and took your mugs back to the bar.
Of course.
Good. You make your way out of Ganley's place, and he gives you a nod on the way out. You head back to the gate and up to the surface world, and there is your caravan up on sort of wooden blocks. Somebody's stolen the wheels and most of the frame above it. This was clearly not a good neighbourhood to be parking your caravan in.
Evidently.
Apparently not. All of the chests in the back that had equipment in have all been turned out. There is gaudy clothing and costume jewellery all over the floor. But you managed to make yourselves a nice little cot in the remains of the clothes in the back,
Okay.
and are awoken far less hours than you would really have liked to the sun just burning in your eyes and somehow you're literally lying on the floor and the entire caravan's gone. Also, so is the rest of your money.
I sort of, like, lean my head up and shift myself onto my shoulders to, like, give myself some leverage. I look around. Is there anything? Is there anything around? Or is it just us?
It's you and a dead tree, which is what stopped the cart in the first place. There is maybe a couple of small wooden rings that are painted to look like costume jewellery.
They even took the costumes? Like, desperate.
They took the costumes. There's very little there. You're lucky you still have your shoes.
Yeah.
It's that kind of neighbourhood.
Goodness. Okay, well, if unless Brilmara and Thrall have already, like, woken up, I give them a nudge.
What's going on?
Our caravan was stolen from beneath us, literally.
How the fuck does someone steal a caravan from underneath someone?
I don't know, fucking sorcery.
How the fuck should this happen?
I don't know, let's just go get jobs.
Let's
just go
Can jobs
engage in capitalism or something.
Are capitalist institutions of job employment offers generally open in the middle of the night?
Oh, actually, yeah, that's a good point. What time is it?
Oh, it's bright sunshine. The sun is certainly right in your eyes when you woke up. It's just at that angle that it was really getting right in your face.
Okay, alright, let's go to the job bureau. What's it?
Well, we've been to the job bureau. We need to go to, what is it, the PolyArmoury?
Oh, that's the one, yeah. Sorry, bit tired, only just woken up.
That's alright.
Alright, let's go wait outside the PolyArmoury.
I kick Thrall awake. And,
He yelps.
I giggle.
And leaps up, looking ever so slightly panicky. Does a sort of quick double take around, sort of skittish, and wondering where on earth everything's gone.
When Thrall catches my eyes, I give a bit of a sly grin. Come on, we're going to go work.
And he grabs onto your your arm or your trouser leg, and clings onto you, looking around very warily. And with his other hand, he's checking his pockets and his bag for literally anything. He finds his figure. He's very happy that he still has his figure. And you make your way back down into the Underdark.
Does he still have his necklace?
He does still have his necklace. It seems to be made of quite plain green stone, so it doesn't appear to have any outward value, really, except sentimental. He's clearly had it a very long time, and it's quite smooth at the bottom, and he's sometimes just for comfort seems to sit there and rub it slightly. And so you head back down into the Underdark. And as you approach, you see the door of the PolyArmoury thrown open by just an insanely tall half-ogre at around 8'2", 325 pounds, with a green eye, light grey hair. She is massive and terrifying. She appears to be half-ogre and half-drow, which is unheard of, because ogres don't mate with drow.
That's interesting.
And where her left eye should be, there is a large metal plate bolted to the side of her head, a hollow where the eye should be, and inside this floats a small red glowing ball of light, roughly the size of a marble, and it swivels in the socket like a pupil on an invisible eyeball.
That is badass.
Oh yeah. She wears simple leather knee-length shorts and a cloth vest top. She is literally made of muscle.
That's glorious.
Oh, bloody hell. I've got to do this myself again. Why did I kill them? Why? I could have... No theft. We don't like theft. No. Right. Okay.
Excuse me.
Hello, yes?
Hi, my name's Valarie. And these are my compatriots, Brilmara and Thrall. We were informed by the job bureau that you might have some work for us.
Oh, Lauren sent you.
Yes.
Yes, Yeah, all right then, come in.
Okay. I walk in. I look back to check that Brilmara and Thrall are also coming in.
Yeah, I'm following.
And the Thrall looks scared of this woman.
Does Thrall hesitate at all coming through the door?
A little bit, but he's still clinging quite firmly onto you.
Okay.
Not going to comfort him at all. That's fine.
No, of course I am. I like rub his head a bit.
Aww.
Yeah.
Do you have any experience working in retail?
In a roundabout sense, yeah.
How's this for experience in retail? I'm very good at being powerful, and if anyone tries to not pay for stuff, they're gonna regret it. How does that sound as retail experience?
That sounds very positive. And the little fella.
The little fella is very, very good at customer interaction and very good at following orders.
On order, he did, rip someone's throat apart the other day, so I'm gonna say that he fits into the camp of very good at stopping people from not paying.
And I have experience in economics and managerial duties, though those skills are transferable into a retail assistant role, I think.
Well, that's very good to know. Very good to know indeed. So, you honest, are you? Trustworthy?
I consider myself to be quite trustworthy. Obviously, I know that requires a certain level of trust build up before it can be confirmed. But I give you my word.
I'm nice and transparent. All you gotta worry about with me is I like being powerful. Money is a form of power. I would like to get paid so that I am more equipped to be powerful. Pretty easy. There's not much to me. If you're paying me, I am happy because then I have more money and then can do more things.
As long as you're happy with just getting paid and keeping your fingers out of the till. Because if I catch you stealing from the till, I'll cut off your hands and your feet. And then I'll break your teeth, your arms, your legs, and I'll throw you in the walk pit. And then I'll have someone cast cure wounds on you so it takes you bloody ages to die. Just like the last lots. And she points behind the till, and there, hanging up on the wall, are 4 pairs of hands on a piece of leather thong.
That's reasonable.
I quite like those body parts, so I will, not dip my hand in the till. Or at least not in yours.
That's very wise indeed.
The only time you'll ever see me dipping my hand in that till is to put customers' money in it.
Very wise, very wise.
And or to get their change out, that's also a part of how business
Yes,
works.
that too.
Yes, indeed, well done. Right, then I think we have a bargain. I guess I have 3 new fine employees for the PolyArmoury.
You said the name of the thing.
Credits!
Thank you very much for joining us today in this PolyArmoury. If you would like to tweet at us, we are at PolyArmoury SMR. That's PolyArmour, because we spell it in the English way. RY SMR. Or you can use the hashtag PolySMR. Laura, where can we find you?
You can find me at Laura K Buzz pretty much everywhere. Laura K Buzz on Twitter, YouTube, Patreon, wherever the heck have you. Otherwise, Let's Play Video Games, or anywhere that's paid me money to write things.
And George, what about you?
Well, if you like video games and communism, you can go to jaffameister.com, that's jaffameister.com, where I violently mash communism into video games and talk about how it makes sense. You can also see me occasionally doing that in 140 characters on Twitter, as well as talking about other things. I'm also the editor-in-chief at Indie Haven, where we talk about indie games in various different ways. And you can also find me on Waypoint sometimes. I put up a couple of freelance pieces there sometimes.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much. I am Jane. I can be found on Twitter as @ManiacJaniac, on SoundCloud.com as Jane Eris Magnet, where I also do a horror ASMR show called The Program, which is very close to finishing. So you can very soon mainline the whole lot if you wish to.
It's really scary.
Yes, it is a bit much for some people. And join us again sometime in the PolyArmoury. Thank you very much.
Why don't you just, like, completely do the theme tune beatboxed in that style?
That would be really cool.
Fighting death and human horse, Thorson tried to kill them all. They escaped the vile moor. Now PolyArmoury store. PolyArmoury.
That's fucking amazing.
Thank you.
That was amazing!